Okay, so this piece is called I Dare You. And I wasn't originally going to do this, so I was concerned about what some of you might do after I told you this story. So hopefully I have time to get through it. There's a hike in this book. This is a common book here, 100 Hikes, Travel Guide, Oregon Coast. You all know Sullivan, William Sullivan. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah.
So in this book, you would think, innocently enough, that it'd be fine, go out for a hike, not have any trouble. But there's a hike in here, number 58 in this book, the North Fork Smith River hike. And some friends of my wife and I invited us to come out and go camping there. So we did. And we all had really young kids. We all had kids who were under 1. So we need to camp somewhere that's really far away from other human beings when we do something like that, for fear of ruining everyone else's weekend. But if we all ruin each other's weekend, it's not a big deal. So they picked somewhere really remote where there weren't going to be any other people, and this was the hike they decided on. And so we get in our cars, we load up, it's the car seats, it's the backpacks and the diaper bags, along with the tents and the cooking supplies, etc. And we start driving. And we keep driving. We try to time our drive with nap time, right? Because that's kind of a critical piece when you've got the kids. But we've been driving an hour and a half, and the kids, they're starting to wake up, and it's starting to get rough. And then the road is also starting to get rough, way worse. It's deteriorating. It's washboard. It goes from washboard to gravel, from gravel to small boulders that we're having to stop and move rocks out of the road as we're continuing to drive. And yet we keep going because we're too far to turn back now. We talked about it a couple times, but we were too far, so we go and we get out, and immediately it just feels like it's not going to go well. It just feels like something in the air. There were mosquitoes. It was already starting to get dark. We're walking through the campsite. It feels like no one's been here for ages, and so we kind of hike in. We're getting bitten up. The grass and weeds and ferns, everything's kind of getting taller and taller and bushier and bushier. And we finally find some semblance of a campground, but it's just kind of, it's rocky and it's sloped and there's exposed roots everywhere. But we make do and we set up our tents. And the whole time, Emily and I are exchanging these looks, and it's disquieting in this place. It just feels strange. So we, I mentioned it to her, but that's it. And we go for a walk, and we get out of the green. We go, let's go for a hike before we set up tent. And we get out of the green, and all of a sudden, it's not like a fire, but it's just everything was dead. There was this, overgrowth, and where, normally you get some kind of undergrowth, there was nothing. It was just these gray trees, as far as you could see. And so, I have to watch my time here. So, there's these gray trees, as far as I can see, and it's really disquieting to the point where, I think I turned to Emily and said, "Welcome to Mordor." I mean, it was very disturbing, and when I said that, my friend said, "Oh, did you read Hike 58? And I said, "No." He said, "Well, don't you know that there's supposedly spirits here called the 222 that were so intense that they actually scared the loggers away." Scared the loggers away. Here we go. So I'm going to have to speed up dramatically now. But what happened? So we're freaked out. We have to race back to the campsite. We finally get the kids in bed. We're going to sleep. We're having really rough sleep. We're tossing and turning. And about 4 in the morning, one of the kids just lets out this ear-piercing shriek, blood-curdling scream. And we all bolt up and we're freaked out. The other kids wake up and they're all screaming and we're all screaming. And, we all kind of get everyone back to bed and, we survive. And the next morning we wake up and say, "Well, that was creepy, wasn't it?" We say, "Yeah, it was." And we walk down the path a little ways and we see at a bridge that was not like this before, this, okay? It's fuzzy, but just clawed up, look, clawed up logs, there's hair. See the hair on this picture? That's what we woke up to see. So, Hike 58, North Fork Smith River, I dare you to go.